Hello there everyone, this is Neil from writinghorses.com. Hope you're well and a happy new year. We've been extremely busy. On a personal front, I've been very busy as well, outside of the service. So this is the first chance I've had to record a video. So this is the first one of the year, so happy new year to you all. Today's a video, and I'm going to concentrate on something that we're calling Ratings Extra, which is to benefit all of our members. This is the very first port of call on a very long journey on what we hope to find some very good systems, methods and angles. And if you've missed it over Christmas and New Year, we have started to collect data for specific parts of our ratings, and there's three specific parts. The first one is the general ratings, which is this column here, column E, with a total on it. Some of you may or may not aware that the R1 and R2 are two different ratings, taking into account different criteria, and of course the total is those two little ratings put together. Now, from previous experience and knowledge, we know that the R2 has a slightly better strike rate. There's not much in it, only 1 or 2%, but the R2 is the slightly more successful rating. And generally, across the board, if you were to back all top rated, clear top rated horses across the field, doesn't matter what sort of race, what sort of course, national hunt, flat turf, all weather, doesn't matter, you would expect around a 32 to 33% win strike rate. Okay, that's just backing those top rated completely blindly. So we're using that area, the general ratings. We're also using the power ratings, which is this column here, double AA column, and we're also using the OFS algorithm, which is this column here, column V. I think we've got 12 areas in total which we're looking at. We're looking at those three, and then we dissecting those simply into handicap races and non-handicap races, so that's 6 different areas. And we're also looking at the top 3 rated horses when there's 8 or more runners. Okay, so for example, this race is only 5 runners, so we'd only be looking at the top rated for each of these 3 criteria. If we scroll down to the 105 Catterick, we can see there's 10. So we'll be concentrating on those top 3 if there's 8 or more runners. Okay, so that's what we're doing. This is, as I say, the very first step on a very long road. We're aware that backing horses completely blindly is unlikely to make a profit long term, but that is when we will then start to dissect those areas and the information that we've got, that data, and then maybe dissect that into maybe flat turf, flat all weather, national hunt chase, national hunt hurdle, Irish races, that sort of thing. And that's when I think you'll see that the bigger picture is that there's some really strong trends, and that will benefit all of us. However, saying that, already we can see some significant trends, and there's a couple of areas that we're already very excited about. And so I'll go over to the spreadsheet now. As I say, this is the very first step on a very long road. So what we are doing at the moment is just detailing the daily results as a strike rate and a profit loss to £1 stakes. Okay, moving forwards, we will get detailed information, which will include the course, time of year, that sort of thing. So we'll move over now to the rating spreadsheet, and that's what we've got at the moment. General handicap, general non-handicap, power handicap, power non-handicap, and each one we've got the top rated, and say if there's 8 or more runners, we keep results for the top 3. Now, some of you will see that the significant losses already for some of these areas. we're not particularly concerned about the losses. What we're more interested in at this stage is the strike rate, because if the strike rate is good enough, then moving forwards we can start dissecting those results, and maybe we can start dismissing certain areas of racing to make those profitable methods. Okay, now what I've already said to you is, for example, the general top rated, we know following the top rated horse has a 32-33% win strike rate. Okay, now that in itself is very, very good. Basically a third of races is won by our top rated horse. Doesn't matter if it's handicap, non-handicap, chase, hurdle, all-weather flat, turf, it doesn't matter. Completely backing those blindly, you would win around a third of your races. What we don't know at this moment in time is, would that show you a profit? I would suggest probably not, or you'd probably break around even. It certainly wouldn't be worth following literally 40 or 50 top rated horses per day in the summer months to be able to make such a small profit. So this is one of the reasons we are starting this phase of testing, and as I say, it's just the very first step of a very, very big picture. Now, one thing that hasn't surprised us is that non-handicap races are performing better than handicap, and common sense will obviously tell you that handicap races are far more competitive. You know, the handicapper will handicap horses, because every horse is supposed to be off virtually a level playing field. Of course, we know that doesn't happen, but in the main, handicap races are far more competitive than non-handicap races. So that's where you will see a difference in the results there. In front of us, we've got handicap races, the top rated. We can see that it's showing a 33-point loss to 1 point stakes. Now, all results are calculated to Betfair SP, and we're taking the big 5% commission off all profits. Okay, if you're on Betfair, you may well have a smaller commission of a couple of percent. So this is taking the max 5% off. Okay, so just bear that in mind. We can see there with the general handicap races, top rated horses, we've had 28 winners from 153 races. Going back to yesterday, there were 10 races, 5 winners, 50% strike rate. And if you'd have followed those 10 horses on Betfair, minus 5% commission, you would have made a 5.66 point profit. So, like for example, if you were following them to £10 win stakes, you'd have made about 56 quid yesterday. But overall, 33 points down. We expect that on all handicap races. Okay, if we move to the power handicap races, we can see the results are slightly better. Just a 13-point loss, 36 winners from 177 races, and that is the daily breakdown of the strike rate and results. If you follow the top three, when there's been 8 or more runners, bearing in mind you're backing 3 horses, so you're staking 3 points. So you know, we're just doing this blindly at the moment. Of course, you could have a winner. One of your top 3 could win, but still show a loss on the race because the price was short. Again, we're not looking really at this moment at the profit loss. We know it's going to show a loss. We're more interested in the strike rate, and as I say, moving forwards, we can dissect that information further, and we're confident we can make successful methods and angles for virtually every part of these ratings. Moving to the OFS, there was a lot of talk within the team as if we should follow these, because we know they're going to make significant loss, especially with the top 3. We could imagine it could be tens of thousands of points throughout a year, to be completely honest with you. And the reason for that is because the OFS is an algorithm, and especially in non-handicap races, you'll see that not every horse has an OFS rating or rank. Okay, so especially in non-handicap races, you will see there may be only 3 or 4 horses in a 10-runner field, for example, may have an OFS. So you're dismissing 60-70% of horses straight away. So we know there's going to be significant losses for the top three, but as I say, we're more interested in the strike rate at the moment, so we can dissect that information moving forwards, and we're confident we will make some pretty good angles. So that's the handicap information. Power ratings are doing quite well actually on the handicap, so that's been quite interesting. But for the excitement builds when you look at the non-handicap races, and we know that non-handicap races will have a better strike rate and hopefully better profit loss because they're less competitive, but nevertheless you still have to find the right horses. Now if we move over to the general ratings for the non-handicap, this is where things start to get a little bit exciting. As you can see, following the top rated on non-handicap races, we've had 39 winners from 97 races. But the key thing for us is that it seems to be really consistent. And what I mean by that is, as you can see, the last 4 days, they've all been losses, but it's literally only been a point. 1.67, 1 point yesterday, 0.27 on the 8th. You know, there's not massive losses. So this is key. Of course, this profit loss has been boosted by 2 big priced winners. But nevertheless, even if you take those two, dismiss those 2 big price winners, the return on investment would still be very, very good. I mean, you could take, we're taking 110 points out roughly, minus the commission. That still would leave us with around a 30-point profit from just 97 races. Okay, so that in itself is around a 30% return on investment. But on the other side of the coin, although there's been 2 big price winners, we've also hit the post quite a few times. And yesterday was another prime example where we had, I think there was one non-runner actually, the top rated in one. Indeed, let's go back to Wednesday. We'll look at the non-handicap. There was only 2 meetings yesterday. Look at non-handicap races. So we'll scroll down. This was one, Miss Dolly Rocker, but that became a non-runner. Okay, that top-rated horse there. And if I'm right, I think there was only one more non-handicap race. I will continue to scroll, but it was this race here, 145 at Lingfield. Our top-rated horse here, non-handicap race. This Is My Dream, came second. I believe it was 20 or 22 to 1 SP. So the Betfair SP would have been bigger. So again, we've had a number of those that have hit the post at big prices. So you can argue, you say, oh, well, we'll dismiss that. You know, the return on investment, the profit loss isn't going to be very good. Well, no, you're wrong. It's still going to be extremely good. And on top, we've also had 2 or 3 similar priced horses that have hit the post come second. So this is where it does get very, very exciting, and this is the sort of information we're interested in. As you remember earlier on, I said to you, backing across the board. It doesn't matter if it's handicap races or non-handicap races. It doesn't matter if it's an Irish race or a UK race or an all-weather flat race or a turf race, national hunt race. Backing our top-rated horses on our general ratings will bring you, over the course of a yearly period, around a 32 to 33% strike rate. Okay, this back in non-handicap races, again across the board, but non-handicap races. Okay, so we've dissected it to non-handicap and handicap. We can see that the strike rate is very, very good. It's above that 32-33%. Most significantly, it's already showing very, very big profits. Now, this could level off, but I fully expect that this is going to show significant profits throughout the year. And the strike rate, I would imagine, will get a little bit lower, okay, but will be substantial. So this is very exciting. Following our top 3 in non-handicap races, general ratings, we can see again very significant profits, over 121 points. And remember, we're backing the top 3 for these results data here, so we're staking 3 points. Okay, so from 55 races, that would be 165 points staked. and you've made nearly 122 points profit. So that's again what 85-90% return on investment. That is very, very significant. And look at that, 12 winners from 15 races, 4 from 4, 3 from 5, 3 from 5. On this day here, the 6th, there were 5. Let's just put this into context. On the 6th, okay, there were 5 non-handicap races that had got 8 or more runners. If you'd have packed those 3 top-rated horses in all 5 races, you would have staked 15 points. You would have returned 69.29 point profit. Okay, 100% strike rate from all 5 races. The top 3 found the 5 winners, and that's the sort of strike rate you could expect at the moment. Moving on to the power, again successful, not quite as much on the top rated, because I do know that Inian Tiaguer, although it was in the top 3 rated horses, it wasn't actually top rated. I think it was second rated, if my memory serves me right. But again, significant profits, especially following the top 3. And onto the OFS, and this is quite surprising for us. Remember what I said to you about not every horse has an OFS ranking. Even following the top rated, at the moment, that is we're quite excited about that. 33 winners, around was about 30% strike rate, 41 winners from 74. And again, remember that especially in non-handicap races, sometimes we have over half of the field doesn't have a rating, so we're already dismissing above half the field. So this is significant as we speak. But what we're looking at for some of these criteria, we're just looking at the general strike rate at the moment, and then we should be looking to dissect that information moving forward. So that's where we're at the moment. Significant profits for the non-handicap. More importantly, it's great to have these big price winners. It's nice to plod along with these little few points. 20, 30, 40% return on investment, and then hit the odd big price winner like we have here a couple of times. Don't dismiss those two, okay? Because we've already hit the post a number of times with similar big priced horses, and all we're doing to find this sort of profit is looking at non-handicap races, and we're following the top rated horse on the general ratings. That's all we're doing for that amount of profit as we speak. So moving forwards, it'll be interesting to see how very, very early days at the moment as I speak. This is a very, very tiny first step on a very, very big program that we're running out over the months and years. And as I say, the idea is to dissect the information when we've got a lot of information to make profitable methods and angles. But as things stand at the moment, following these top rated horses in non-handicap events are showing significant, enormous, magical, dreaming sort of figures at the moment. And long may it continue. We may well have already found a super little method. It may well not be worth dissecting those results any further. Of course we will, but to keep it plain and very, very simple. What a fantastic little angle we've potentially got there. Anyway, what I want to finally say is, if you're following one of the or two or some of these areas, and you've already found that specific races or maybe all weather works better than National Hunt on certain things, let us know so we can let other people know. Okay, we're all in this together. We all want to make profits, and especially working to Betfair SP. Especially working to Betfair SP. It doesn't matter if there's hundreds of people following one particular angle. It's not going to make any difference. So yeah, if you found any information, any tidbits you think that are favourable, let us know, and we'll be happy to divulge the information further. But that's what we're doing at the moment. Now, some of you will have some questions. I think what may be the best thing to do is, if you've got some questions, throw them in by email. Me and my team will take note of those over the next couple of days, and what I'll probably do is record another video answering those queries and questions instead of personally emailing back. I think so it helps everybody. Some people may well be thinking that particular query, and so it'll help all members moving forward. So I think we'll probably record another video in a week or two, and I will answer some of those potential questions we may get in. So I'll leave it there. Happy New Year to you all. Hopefully it's going to be a very successful and fruitful one. Thank you all. As I often say, if I personally reply to an email, your support and your continued membership to our service, especially at this present moment in time when things are difficult, is very, very much appreciated. And it's me and my team are very, very thankful. So hopefully this is the start of a long and successful running idea that we know it's going to be. We've had plenty of years experience in this sort of thing, and we know this is going to be very successful. This is the very tiny first step on a very long road, and we'd love you if you continued that walk with us, see where it takes us. I'll speak to you very, very soon, wherever you're on today. The very best of luck. Take care. Bye bye.